Thank you so much for joining Eat African and American. And today, my children are going to be making some.
Some spit and some potato tots.
Yeah. Thank you so much for joining Eat African and American. And today, my children are going to be making some cheese tot casserole. And they're going to go ahead and introduce you the ingredients that we'll be using today.
And
Starting with
spit.
LJ, aka Lyle.
First thing, beef bone broth. Yup. Next, ground beef. 1 onion. And rotel. Okay, we have 2 tablespoons of olive oil. 2 tablespoons of Tony. 1 teaspoon of chili powder.
Chili powder.
1 teaspoon of black pepper. 1 teaspoon of black pepper. I think this is
Cumin powder.
Cumin powder.
That's foreign to them.
And salt. 1 teaspoon of salt.
You can't wait to you.
And last but not least, we have 1 teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce.
Nobody can say that.
No,
It's, what is it? Worcestershire sauce.
Cheese and
We got what? Cheese and tater tots.
Cheese and tater.
Hold up your tater tots. Alright, that's one of the most important ingredients. We will have the ingredients in the description below. And also, we're going to go ahead and have a mukbang at the end. So stay tuned. Alright, so let's go ahead and get into this video. So my sons were supposed to be doing the recording of cooking this Rotel Tater Tot casserole. However, they ended up falling asleep on me because I had to go take care of some business for a little while. So I did let them in the beginning cut up the onions. So each of them took turns cutting up the onions so that they can learn how to get in the kitchen and cook when mama is not around. I believe that is very important that we teach our young ones how to cook. Young ones, make sure that your parents are in the kitchen when you are learning to cook and when you're using sharp objects. Make sure you have a parent around. So they went ahead and cut up those onions for mommy, and I'm finishing it off for the little one. And now we are preparing the season to get ready to fry the ground beef. So you want to go ahead and put your pot on the oven, warm it up, put some olive oil. So I use the olive oil. We're going to go ahead and saute these onions. At this point, you can add a little bit of salt here. I didn't show it, but you do want to go ahead and add a little bit of salt. Make sure you don't add too much salt because you want to make sure you don't oversalt your food because you are using cheese. And so make sure those onions are sauteed very well. And I'm using a very lean pack of ground beef. So we're going to go ahead and add that ground beef in there and get that broken all up in the pot. I'm going to turn my stove up just a little bit more just to make sure we go ahead and get this baby cooking. And also at this point, you can set your oven to about 450 to go ahead and get it preheated so that when you get everything cooked, it'll already be ready for you to put your casserole in there. So you want to go ahead and brown your beef. Now, if you don't get a lean pack of ground beef, I would advise you not to put the seasonings in until after you've cooked it really until it's well done and drain all the water. Then you want to add your seasonings because you don't want to add all these seasonings and then have to pour it out. So if you don't get a lean pack of ground beef, make sure you add the seasonings after you drain the water out. But since I had a lean pack, I can go ahead and add these seasonings in at this time. So you want to make sure that you get it brown. Make sure it is well cooked, okay? Keep stirring it, breaking it down in there. All right, look at the color on it. And I'm adding like a half a cup of beef broth just to give it additional flavor. And I did go ahead and drain my can of Rotel because you don't need that much liquid. So it's a little bit left in there, but I did drain as much out of it as I possibly could. I'm adding about not a half, but maybe a quarter, a little more of Velveeta cheese. And I'm getting that all mixed in there so that that can be flavor. So this is something that I just came up with because we were thinking about just doing like a tater tot casserole. And I'm like, man, it sounds like a Rotel because down where I'm from, Rotel is real popular. It's a Rotel dip, which I'll probably make one day. But it's really popular down here. So I said, it would be so amazing to make a Rotel casserole. And just because it's a little bit of watery, I wanted to make sure it thickened up. So I did add a tablespoon of flour to that so that it can thicken up. I'm adding some chili powder and some black pepper. Now at this point, you can taste it and see if it needs more seasoning, more salt, whatever you want to add to it. If it's needs to be flavored a little more, go ahead and add it at this point. I am sitting it to the side so that it can chill. So about 15 minutes so that that ground beef can go ahead and thicken it up. And now we're going to go ahead and put it into our baking casserole dish. And I'm going to go ahead and spread that all in there. Make sure it's nice and even, okay, because we want our casserole to be at one layer. And make sure those flavors are spread across that casserole dish. And make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, click the notification bell, and leave your comments below. Let me know what in the comment section what you would like me to cook for you, or if you have any ideas that you would like me to do, go ahead and drop those in the comment section below. All right, and then the most important ingredient besides the ground beef are the tater tots. So we're going to go ahead and lay those on here nice and pretty. You want this dish to be gorgeous, and like I said, you want to make sure you're preheating your oven at this point at 450 because we want those tater tots to come out nice and crisp at the top. We don't want them to be soggy, so make sure you have your oven preheating. All right, and so I'm just filling in any extra spaces where I can get the tater tots in. All right, because I want to make sure it's all nice and pretty. All right, and you'll see. And of course, you know me, I love to use Tony's. I love flavor, so go ahead and season those babies. You could put black pepper and salt on top. I use Tony Chachere's. I'm gonna also go ahead and put some more cheese, Velveeta, and feel free to use whatever cheese. Next time I'm gonna play around with the cheese. I'm gonna try cheddar cheese. Like I said, this is just a creation that I came up with just to try something new. So you can use whatever cheese you like, okay? So I just use Velveeta cheese since I use Velveeta in my Rotel. And ta-da, it's ready for the oven.
Fast.
Is that what it is? It's good. That Rotel casserole is good. It got enough flavor.
Yep.
All right, so y'all hear from my children. Rotel Tater Tot casseroles on deck.
Mom, your cards say
Dad over there, hey, look at that, y'all.
your cards are good or nasty. Good.
He ain't saying nothing. You know he lies. He lies, y'all. You can't believe Jakor when he talks. He'll say something nasty and then be like, Mom, this is good. Look at that, y'all. Look at that baby. That baby. Oh, that's all right. That baby is so wet. It's wet. It's wet.
Kind of spicy.
It's spicy?
Kind of.
I ain't putting no spice in it. All right, y'all. Go ahead and try that casserole. We out.